It amazes me how many people want relationships when they can't relate. You want a relationship when you can't relate. You can't relate to the person that you're trying to connect with. Think about what I'm saying. You want a relationship, but you can't relate. You see Charles. You like the way Charles looks, maybe. And you say, Charles looks like he'll be a good man in my life. But you can't relate to anything that I'm saying. You don't like the way that my brain works. You don't like what I like. You don't want to do things to please me, but you want a relationship. Does that make sense to you? Hey, I like Zelda. Do you like Zelda? No, I like My Little Pony. This is the Zelda store here, baby. And you don't like Zelda, but you want to come shop for My Little Pony in my Zelda store. Does that make sense to you? That's what amazes me about people. You want to put people in places or put things together that are not congruent. They don't connect. They're not like pieces of the puzzle. They don't fit together. So that's what blows me away. And this is for men and women. You want a relationship, but you can't relate. You can't relate to the person that you're trying to connect to, but you want to have a relationship with them. For me, you should relate. You should understand. You don't have to totally agree, but it should be some type of flow, ebbs and flow, in and out, in and out. You should be able to at least understand where someone else is coming from. You don't have to agree, and you really don't have to approve. You just got to be, I can relate to that. That makes sense to me. I wouldn't do that, but that's something I wouldn't do, but I understand. Most people, they can't relate to you. It's like when they use that book, what is it? Men are for Mars, Women are for Venus. Is that really true? Because, if I am from Mars, I had a lot of ladies at Venus that wanted to come explore this Mars and say, I live in Mars now. I'm an alien. I climbed over the border wall and I want to be a nationalized citizen to your Mars. I don't know if that's really funny, but it makes some sense to me. I feel like I got hair in my mouth. I'm thinking I got to cut the beard down, trying to get too many hairs, wild hairs. But yeah, I just find things funny. I think people, let me be biased. Let me turn into manly man. A lot of people, it seems women, as I said, I was biased. A lot of women want something, in my opinion, like a relationship or a marriage, just for the sake of it, other than completing the other person. It should be beneficial to both parties. If it's only one-sided, then, it's not an asset. It becomes a liability. I'll say that. It could be an asset for you. It could be a liability for somebody else. So, me being biased, I think, hopefully this is going to make some sense because I'm going off on a wild run. Hopefully, a lot of ladies will, in some way, try to understand men and say, hey, how can I be a benefit to this man? Just like every man should say, how can I be beneficial to this woman? How can I improve your life if we connect? That should be the situation. And that's just what I think. Pretty much, I'm overall done with my message. This really wasn't a long one, but I'll do a little talk and I'll go. So maybe I can be entertaining let me try this for 5 more minutes. I'm going to talk about just what I think about outside of that. Truthfully, I want to relate to people. I do. I want to know why you feel the way you feel. I want to know why you think the way you think. I want to know what makes you happy or sad. I would like to know that. However, I find that when I communicate with a lot of people, they can't express them to me or in their words why they do what they do. I understand sometimes you want to be secretive. Maybe you want to be esoteric. Maybe you don't want to share what is the motivation for your desires. I get that. Maybe you don't trust me. Maybe you think I'm going to put your private situation into the ether. I might tell the world, but I won't. But that's what I want when I talk to people. I want to know where you're coming from. I want to relate to you. That's the whole purpose of conversation for me, is to have some type of understanding and empathy so that when we do dialogue, I will be a more sympathetic person to your plight, whatever it is. Even if that's something I didn't do, I can try to understand where you come from or your motivations for doing what you do. And as such, I will act in a more humane manner. We can all see each other as humans. And that's where I think people make mistakes. You think that because someone didn't come from where you came from, or they don't look like how you look, that they can't understand your plight. And I don't have to ever go to prison to understand or have a empathy for people that are locked up and don't have freedom, because I would never want that to happen to me. And my heart goes out for people who are unjustly punished. I have empathy for people who are hurt, people who are robbed from, people who are lied to about certain situations. That bothers me because I never want to see people in pain. I have empathy for people who want to work and can't find jobs. I have empathy for people who don't have a good network and because of their lack of social skills, can't get people to help them in their lives. That bothers me. I have so much empathy for people who ask for help and are genuine, but because of the way they look, you ostracize them and you don't give them the help that they may need. Some people really don't even know how to ask for help, and I feel empathy for that because maybe you're suffering, maybe you're in some pain because you don't know how to express it. You're suffering. I feel bad for people who project their life suffering on other people because sometimes it's your choice. It's not all the time, but sometimes what has happened to you are through your choices. And you may need some outside assistance to help you make smarter choices. I understand that. However, I get mad when people charge people for stuff that they would do for free. I mean, there's nothing wrong. Like, for instance, I think about money a lot now. I mean, probably 80 to 90% of the day, I'm thinking, let me not spend this dollar on some shoes. Let's put it in the shoe company. That's just how I think because I like shoes. So every time I want to buy these nice colored Air Jordan 3s that you can't find anywhere else, what is it, midnight gray or purple blue, whatever some strange color they come out, I say, no, Charles, buy Nike stock. And that's what I do. So now that I understand how money works, I wish I could go back in past and tell that 19-year-old me and 20 me, hey, don't buy that 40 ounce of beer. Like beer. Put it in this company called Samuel Adams, because one day it's gonna be worth $200+ and it's only worth $1 a day. You'll make some money, and that's what I wish people understood. I would never say that you have to be broke, because sometimes you don't make enough to survive. I get that. However, what you do with your money is your choice. It is for entertainment purposes. So before you super chat somebody's video or send a cash app, invest that. But if people want to make me feel good, buy some stock. Like, go find a company that you like, or a company, some industry that you think will happen in the future that is worth $5 or less, and buy 2 or 3 shares in that. Every time you want to give somebody a super chat, think about, like I say, the future is 3D printing. It's going to happen. Look up some 3D printing companies and see which one you believe in. If you're going to gamble on the future. Gamble on that next 3D company being the next Tesla. Think about what your favorite online store is and buy some shares of that. If you can't buy incremental shares. Invest in the future. That's just what I think about. Even though this video was about on a relationship and not relating, we should all be able to relate to this. Everybody doesn't want to be, most people don't want to be poor. Most people really want to be wealthy. You want to have some money in your hand. You want to be able to purchase this house. You want to be able to buy this car. But if we make better sacrifices, I'm not going to do the video now. The key to wealth is emotional control. That is what it is. Ooh, I like sodas. Next thing you know, you spend $3,000 on soda in a year. But if you would have bought Coca-Cola stock, $3,000, you would have most likely made money. And if it didn't appreciate, you would have got dividends. It's a return. That's what you should do. That's what people should do. Find a way to get your money to work for you. But nobody teaches you this. And the internet has created so many different jobs. So many different people who didn't have skills before can now go online and teach people stuff. Some people are better, quote unquote, salesmen, and they touch your emotional button and say, buy this course. And I'm not telling people that they shouldn't get their hustle, but why should you pay for a course that you can get for free? I want you to relate to me. See, I want a relationship with you. I want you to relate to what I'm saying. I can really go deep into this. I'm telling you, think about this. This is a homework assignment for anybody who is going to listen to this. Think about your 10 favorite companies, because people have favorite companies. I can name 10 companies right now that I like. Google, Nike, Procter & Gamble, Home Depot, Nvidia, AMD, Tesla, Neo, Nintendo, Microsoft, Intel. I can go on and on. I'm just thinking about stuff like that. Companies, Walmart, Target. Think about companies that you like, Sony, and invest in those companies. Saying, I can't wait to play the next Zelda. So you better own some Nintendo stock. I'm telling you. And it most likely over a year will go up at least 20 to 30%. You know, that people will tell you to diversify. I will never tell you not to diversify because I won't lose no money. And you, no matter what, let's say you invest for 5 years straight and every year it goes to 15%. This is for long-term investors. I can really get into short-term investing. I will not at this time because it's all speculative and you can lose, but you can win. Then you start playing options and trying to do all these other things. The derivative market is more complex than what people know, and most people are not that great with math anyway, and you're not great at chart reading. So, relate to me, people. You would not be, it would not be smart for you to just like a company saying it's undervalued and buying it, and you're not watching it all day, and then you don't have enough money in your account to be a day trader, and then it stops you from making trades because most people can't just buy in the morning and sell at night and then move on to a different stock. They don't have a rotation, and people don't even, you got to read up the codes and laws to do it. So it's not as easy as people think. Most people don't have the discipline to do it, and that's what I say. I talk about DoorDash. I think DoorDash, it's an overpriced company, but if you look at it for the long run, I think it's going to get its value because a lot of people will never go back into the store. A lot of people want to stay in a house and they don't want to get no shot, and they're going to just order food because they got money that they can spend to get food delivered to them. So that's just what I think. You know what? I think I might do another video because I can keep going on this, and I just think about it a lot. If you don't own Apple stock and you got an iPhone, if you don't, not even just at $2 or $3 an Apple, something's not right. Think about it. You brush your teeth with Crest. Go on some Procter and Gamble. I always say, go look up Investopedia. Go study it. Get an account on TD Ameritrade and take the free classes that they got there. They would teach you what bonds, ETFs are, how much different type of investing strategies. It's all there for free, people. So I will do another video. This, I don't even know what I was gonna say. You want a relationship, but you can't relate. But maybe I must talk. I may have to come up with a different title. Money relating when you can't relate, and money. And that's what I call this because that makes much more sense. Maybe it doesn't, but if you think about what I'm saying, it will make sense to you. And I will always tell people, just think. And it's life. Hopefully you treat life like a marathon. Don't treat it like a race. And that's why people lose, is they try to get it all at one time instead of building up to being able to run that 4 hours to 3 hours to 2 hours. You super people out there. I'm done being a silly, and I'm going to end this now. I don't know if it made sense.